Hey everybody, it's Craig with Smartphone ME, and today we're going to have a face-off between Motorola's Droid 2 and Samsung's Epic 4G. Both of these phones offer dual-band CDMA. Both of them run on EVDO Rev A 3G, and the Epic 4G also offers WiMAX 4G connectivity. Taking a look at the Motorola Droid 2, weighs in at 169 grams. Build quality, you've got a nice metal rim around the entire perimeter of the display. It's got a full slide-out QWERTY, no play in it whatsoever, nice click when it's fully open. And on the back is a nice rubberized texture coating, a bluish in color, and a nice metal grill over the speaker down here at the bottom. Taking a look around the Droid 2, you've got the microphone on the bottom. On the left-hand side is a micro USB port. On top is the 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as the power and lock key. And on the right-hand side, your volume rocker up and down, as well as your dedicated camera key. On the Epic 4G, weighs in at 154 grams. Build quality, primarily high-grade plastic here on the front of the phone. Got a nice metal rim that encompasses the entire perimeter of the phone. That metal rim sits right on top of the keyboard itself on the upper edge, as you can see. Again, no play whatsoever, a nice click when it opens and closes. And on the back, a nice soft rubberized texture coating, along with a nice metal accent around the camera. Taking a quick look around the Epic 4G, on the bottom is the microphone. On the left-hand side is the volume rocker up and down. On top is a 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as the micro USB port. It's got a neat little cover on it to protect it and give it easy access. On the right-hand side is the power and lock key, as well as a dedicated camera key. Alright, on the back of the Droid 2, you've got a 5-megapixel camera with autofocus, dual LED flash, geotagging, and it shoots DVD quality video at 720 by 480 resolution at 30 frames per second. Underneath the battery cover is a 1400 milliamp battery. It's rated at 9.58 hours of talk time. The micro SD card slot is also underneath the battery cover. The battery does need to be removed to replace or exchange a micro SD card. On the Epic 4G, you've got a, again, 5-megapixel camera with autofocus, LED flash, and geotagging, and it shoots video at 720p. Underneath the battery cover is a 1500 milliamp battery rated at 6.5 hours of talk time. Also underneath the battery cover is a micro SD card slot. You do not have to remove the battery to replace or exchange the micro SD card. All right, let's take a look at the front of these two smartphones. And the Droid 2 offers a 3.7-inch TFT capacitive touch display showing 480 by 854 pixels. Offers multi-touch, an accelerometer sensor, as well as a proximity sensor. Underneath the display are 4 touch sensitive keys, a search key, a back key, a home key, and a main menu key. On the Epic 4G, on front you've got a front-facing VGA camera up here in the upper right-hand corner for video calls. Below that is a 4-inch Super AMOLED capacitive touch display showing 480 by 800 pixels. Offers multi-touch, an accelerometer, as well as a proximity sensor, as well as a 6-axis sensor. Underneath the display, you've got 4 touch-sensitive keys, a search key, a back key, a home key, and a main menu key. The memory in the Motorola Droid 2 is 8 gigabytes of internal storage, 512 megabytes of RAM. Memory can be expanded an additional 32 gigabytes through the use of micro SD cards. On the Epic 4G, it comes with 512 megabytes of RAM, 512 megabytes of ROM, and memory can be expanded an additional 32 gigabytes through the use of micro SD cards as well. Both of the phones offer Wi-Fi BGNN with support for DLNA. Both of the phones have Bluetooth version 2.1 with support for A2DP. Both of the phones have GPS with support for AGPS. Both of the phones can be used as Wi-Fi hotspots. Both of them support up to 5 devices simultaneously. The processor on the Droid 2 is a Texas Instruments OMAP 1 GHz processor. The operating system is Android 2.2 Froyo with Motorola's UI overlay. On the Epic 4G, it's the ARM Cortex A8 Hummingbird 1 GHz processor. The operating system is Android 2.1 with Samsung's TouchWiz 2.5 UI overlay. All right, let's continue our face-off and take a little closer look at the user interface on these two smartphones. The Droid 2 runs Android 2.2 Froyo as its operating system, and it has a Moto Blur UI overlay. I don't know if it's called Moto Blur anymore, but it's manufactured by Motorola. And on the Epic 4G, it runs Android 2.1 Eclair, and it has Samsung's TouchWiz 2.5 UI overlay. Basically what all of that means is on both of the phones you're going to get 7 different panels that you can customize it with Android, Samsung, or Motorola widgets, bookmarks, folders, contact information, or application shortcuts. Let's take a quick look at a couple of the different widgets so we can compare them. This is a clock weather widget on the Epic 4G. Here's your weather widget up at the top on the Droid 2 along with the clock. Take a look at the social networking widgets real quick. And here's Twitter and Facebook. You can also add MySpace. This also handles the same thing. As you can see, services. We've got Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter as well. So those are your social networking widgets. Your buddy widget on the Motorola Droid 2 we've got up here at the top. You can see the 4 different names across the top. Continue to add to that. And on the Epic 4G, it simply gives you a chance to scroll through and send a message or make a call. On the Droid 2, you can have it be contact information, direct dial, message, however you want to set it up. There is also a calendar clock on the Epic 4G. Here's a calendar widget on the Droid 2. This will show you when your next appointment is that particular day, and tapping on either one of these are direct shortcuts to that calendar application. There is also a stock widget on the Epic 4G. It'll track a stock for you as well as tell you the time. There's a program monitor widget on the Epic 4G. Tells you how many different programs you currently have running, and you can tap on that and we'll take you directly to the task manager. And on the Droid 2, you also have a gallery widget which you can push here, and it should run through the different photos that are currently in the gallery. And you also have a news widget. You have a word will come to me in a second. Messaging widget, sorry, and a sticky note widget. So there's a look at the different widgets on both of these phones to give you an idea what they look like. Take a quick look at the main menu on both of these. The Droid 2 slides up and down. On the Epic 4G, it slides right to left and left to right. Both of the phones have notification bars. Let's take a quick look at those. What is different is on the Epic 4G, you get 4 great shortcuts up here at the top of the notification bar. You've got one for GPS, one for 4G, one for Bluetooth, and one for Wi-Fi. Other than that, they're pretty much exactly the same. Tapping on any one of these notifications will take you directly to that application, or you can hit clear, or simply slide up from the bottom to close the notification bar, and it will continue to remind you of your notification status in the upper left-hand corner. Both of the phones multitask. Holding down the home key briefly will open up the task manager. Easy for me to say. One thing that's new with Froyo is you now have 8 different tasks. It shows you 8 different tasks currently running in the background. Again, tapping on any one of those will take you directly to it. On Android 2.1 Eclair, you've only got 6, but one of the nice things about the Epic 4G is it has a built-in task manager, which allows you to go directly to it and close any task you'd like to at that particular time. Both of the phones support live wallpaper. I have the displays turned up as bright as they will go on both of them, and they are both running the same, I guess that's grass, blowing grass wallpaper on both of them. So anyway, there's a look at the user interface on the Droid 2 and the Epic 4G.